Hello YouTube, it's Craig, Certified Technician here at ApplianceVideo.com, and today I'm going to show you how to jump into Service Diagnostic Mode on this Whirlpool French door refrigerator. But before we get too far, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right in. When entering Service Diagnostics, it's relatively easy. What I want you to do is first set the freezer temperature to the lowest setting that there is possible, which is going to be your first snowflake. And then you want to familiarize yourself with the UI. UI has 6 buttons. It'll be labeled 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In order to enter diagnostics, you'll want to press and hold switches 6 and 4. And then all the lights should blink and shut off, showing you that you have entered diagnostics. Then, in order to go to the next step, we'll simply want to hit switch 1. Once you hit switch 1, your LED 1 will come up. This is going to be the first snowflake, indicating that we are at the first portion of the test. The first portion of the test is going to be your evaporator fan motor system. In this situation, what we want to listen for is a fan to be running inside your freezer. A lot of times people will complain that the actual refrigerator compartment is not cold enough, and this is a great test because you can turn this on and listen for the fan that brings the air from the freezer up to the refrigerator. If you do not hear the fan during this test, the chances are the fan is bad. If you want to go to the next portion of the test, simply hit switch 1. All of your LEDs will turn off, showing you that you have disabled the load and that we can go into the next portion. Moving forward, we'll press switch 1 more time and you'll see the first 2 LEDs pop up. This is going to be for your compressor and condenser fan motor. During this phase, you want to listen for the compressor rumble and put your hand on it to make sure you feel movement. This is your main motor basically inside this unit. Without compressor operation, nothing is going to cool. Another thing to look for is your condenser fan motor. Your condenser fan motor circulates air below and causes the water that drains below during defrost to evaporate, but also cools down your compressor. If this fan in the back is not running, the chances are your compressor is going to overheat and it's not going to cool properly. So during this test, make sure you test these 2 components, and to move forward, again, press switch 1 until the LEDs turn off so that we can go into the third phase. Moving on to the third phase, you want to keep pressing your first button until you have 3 snowflakes illuminated on the display. This is going to be for your defrost system check. During this phase, it's going to turn on the heater and you should hear a sizzle, or after about 3 to 5 minutes, if you put your hand up against that freezer wall, it should be warm. Why would we want to run this test, you might ask? Well, this unit is a self-defrosting refrigerator, so that means that it turns on a heater every couple of hours to melt the frost inside that freezer evaporator so that you have good, proper airflow. If it's not working correctly, the chances are your refrigerator compartment is not cooling correctly. So if you open up your freezer and you see a large amount of ice on that back wall, make sure you run this test. And again, once it's done, go ahead and press it one more time until the LEDs turn off. Next, we'll go ahead and press the switch 1 until we have the first 4 LEDs illuminated. This is going to be for refrigerator compartment and freezer compartment thermistor check. Make sure you run through this test. It will not show anything on the screen. It's just kind of a self-diagnostics, so at the end of this service diagnostics test, it can throw us some error codes if it needs to. And then go ahead and press it one more time after about 2 minutes to erase those LEDs off the screen so that we can move forward. Now we'll go ahead and press switch 1 until LEDs 1, 2, 3, and 5 are illuminated. This is going to be for a mullion heater test. Since this is a French door refrigerator, it does require the flapper in the center to help it seal. The thing is that flapper has a small heater inside of it to keep moisture from building up in the center. So during this test, after a little while, maybe feel to see if you feel any heat on that mullion flapper, especially if you have moisture building up. If you do not, the problem is probably within your mullion strip and it needs to be replaced. Go ahead and press switch 1 to remove the LEDs so that we can move on to the next step. The next test I want to run through is going to be your damper test. This is going to cause the door inside the refrigerator compartment to open and close. And to get to it, you'll simply want to press switch 1 until LEDs 1, 2, and 5 are illuminated. During this portion, it will open and close that damper door, and you can check to make sure the airflow can come up to the refrigerator compartment. If you're having cooling issues, again, make sure you run this test. Go ahead and press switch 1 more time. All of your LEDs will turn off, and then once you press it again, all the LEDs will turn on, showing you that you have gotten to the end of the service diagnostic test. Now, at this portion, generally if there's any error codes, this is where it's going to pop up. There are a total of 3 error codes that this can pop up inside the system. And what it will do is it will blink the LEDs corresponding to the error that's inside the system. So you may have the first 4 LEDs that pop up. This is going to be for a refrigerator compartment thermistor. And then you may have where LED 5 illuminates. This is going to be for an evaporator thermistor. And then of course, last but not least, you may have LED 1 illuminate. This is going to be for a freezer compartment thermistor. Of course, this is going to finish up today's segment on this Whirlpool refrigerator. Go ahead and unplug the unit for about 5 minutes to reset it and plug it back in. If you do need this service manual, you can obtain it by either going to the manufacturer's website or putting it into the repair help section on ApplianceVideo.com. YouTube, if you found this information helpful, please do me that solid, like, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time.